Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of My Team Journey. A very happy new year and I hope you had a nice Christmas. It's been a while since I've done an episode of my team. Been busy with work. I currently have COVID at the time of recording of this voice. And yeah, I've been busy. So sorry for the delay. So as you can see, we ended the season in a reasonable spot. We got a lot of money for the next season, and we are changing engines because I'm sick and tired of the Renault engine. So we're gonna go for Mercedes because I just love the sound of the engine, and they're meant to be more reliable, from my understanding, going into season 2 of the My Team Journey, with Charles Leclerc defending his title after winning last time by beating Verstappen, even though Red Bull pipped them by the constructors for Ferrari by just a few points. Unfortunately not to get 2 of the titles for Ferrari, but hey ho, it is what it is. So as you can see, we've gone through the sponsorships and we're trying to choose our livery. I had a bit of a long time and a bit of a head scratcher trying to find what one I want, because given how limited I was based on doing all the recordings for the PlayStation 5 I must say, it was a bit tricky because again I was limited on what I can and can't do. Just be nice to have a bit of creativity on the side of these things. But we did sort of livery temporary one, but I wasn't to realise that it didn't have what I wanted sponsors on there. So we did like some facility upgrades because we had the money to spend on it, and then to hopefully make our car a little bit better for the foreseeable future, the coming seasons. We did do some upgrades, and also here comes the livery that I've been waiting for. And that's our livery for 2023 for this alternate year. I quite like it. It suits out well. So we do furthermore of the facility upgrades because we're in desperate need of it. And yeah, coming back to the livery, I really like it so much. I really like it. It was the best thing I could find based on limitations. But yeah, as you saw in the previous one, the world champion makes it away. We did not re-sign Oscar Piastri, and we went for world champion Jenson Button. He was 5 mil. I was quite fortunate enough to pick him and put him in my team. I must admit, I didn't think I was going to get him at first. We were initially thinking about Nico Hulkenberg, but I just thought, let's just see how he does. Let's see what kind of specs he's after, just out of curiosity, and I was mind blown by it. So we got him in my team, and here is our calendar for season 2. So as you can see, we start off with the season in Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Australia, China, Emilia-Romagna, which is Italy, and that is a sprint weekend. We're going to be going to Miami first time, and then we're going to be making a return to Canada, and then we're going back to our home track, Silverstone, for a British Grand Prix. Then we're going to go to Austria, which is a sprint weekend again, and then we're going to go to Belgium. Finally spelled it right after all these years. Then we're going to go to the Dutch Grand Prix, the Italian Grand Prix, and then we'll be followed by going back to the Singapore Grand Prix, first time going there. Then we're going to the US Grand Prix, then making a return to Mexico, first time out there, and then we're going to be finishing off the season with Brazil, which is going to be also a sprint weekend. I'm sorry, Abu Dhabi, but Brazil it's the race that has to finish as the season finale. I'm sorry, but that should always be the same. So after that Canada's review, I'm quite happy. I'm quite confident how this season is going to go for us in this My Team journey. With our new teammate Jenson Button, highly experienced, highly regarded as one of the greats in his own right. And I do look forward to seeing what kind of stuff he can do on the track. And mind our car can deliver, that's to say the least. So without trying to sort out some upgrades that either failed or we couldn't get onto the car on time in the end of in the last season. So there's power and then some aerodynamics, which I needed to do because my car was a bit unstable from time to time, or just didn't have the clear power. But without further ado, we're gonna get straight into qualifying for the first race of the season. Let's get straight into it. So we're now into our first qualifying session of season 2. Pretty confident from the practice runs that we had. We were in the top 10 most of the time, which is encouraging signs. But I wanted to take a gamble. I wanted to go on hards for the first set of qualifying because feeling super confident, I just wanted to see how we do in this first session of qualifying. And as we exit the pits, oh, that lovely sound of the Mercedes engine. Even though the Ferrari does sound nice, I personally prefer the Mercedes. I could have gone for Ferrari, but yeah, we chose Mercedes because why not? So we are doing our first lap run here. It wasn't great considering the tyres weren't fully warm. So we do come across the line and we just a 1 with 32.8, which isn't great. So I backed off to well, I don't back off initially. Well, I tried to back off, but it didn't quite work out. So we do another lap here. I was deciding to do whether to back off or go again, but I decided a split second go again because we had the pace and we had enough battery just about to keep going. So we come across the line for the second lap. We are literally like 3/10 up, and it's a 1:30.25. It's an improvement so far, but we're going to fast forward time to see what other drivers do. But that didn't really do my confidence any good. So I wanted to go out on, I think I went out on the softs just so I could get myself into Q2 because we're in desperate need to get into there. And fast forward time, Max was top of the session, so we do go out again on the soft tire, nearly 2 seconds up, and we do come across the line on this final lap for Q1, and it's a 1:30.4. That was much better, but it puts us into 5th, which is pretty good, but could have been a lot worse. Jenson P14. Oscar gets out of Q1. He's gone to AlphaTauri. That's nice of him. Good for him. I wonder where he went up in the end. I forgot to mention it earlier in the video. But hey, just get on with it. So that we're now coming across the start finish line on the hard tires again, and it's a 1:34.4, which is terrible. So we went out again, and we were literally 2.1 up, and it comes across to 1:32.3, which is better, but it still puts us last. And me, I wanted to go out again and do the softs. I was just minding my own business, and that just happened. I was just lack of concentration, probably. just in a world on my own, and then the car just did a 90-degree spin. Let me get caught. I got warning for that. Terrific. So we do our flying lap here, coming across the line, nearly a second up, and we go 1:31.3, and we didn't make it through. I was quite confident, but that didn't do us any good at all. The 1:30.4 we did in the Q1 was nowhere near for this one here. Really annoying. Really annoying. But hey, Jenson did well. So let's get into the Grand Prix.
Months of rumour and speculation all comes to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best of course at turn 1 and then another soon after into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Sir Lewis Hamilton and Russell, Gasly, Magnussen, Mick Schumacher and Lando Norris, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Jenson Button and Bottas, Joe, Phoenix, Esteban Ocon and Daniel Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Vettel, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Let's hope not. So yeah, we are going to be doing a one-stop for this Grand Prix for this first race of 2023 in this alternate universe. And we underfeed the cars. We don't underfeed the car too much. I think I loaded a previous setup that I did on the time trial to gain a bit, to go a bit faster, not only down the straight, but make sure we had enough mechanical grip going into this Grand Prix. I did have to weigh in slightly to get more of a handling, more downforce on the front whenever we turn in, because sometimes it does understeer a little bit. Yeah, that's what we've got to do. Make some changes to the car and sort of the tire pressures and everything. So I want to make sure I get a good. So I'm sorry about the squeaky chairs and everything. I'm thinking I'm going to get a new one to make sure that everything's good. It also it is a one-stop. We start on mediums instead of the hards. Right, like last season where we started on the hards and they were nowhere. That race was diabolical. As you see, the defending champion on pole position, pipping Verstappen and Perez to the line. The Mercedes on the 3rd row. I was kind of expecting it to be up there as well, but hey ho, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But I am looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this season. See what kind of dramas can unfold for us, and see what else the other drivers do. I wonder who's going to win this title for this particular season here. I wonder who's going to win the title in real life. So I think Lewis Hamilton will. Or at least I hope so. And there's Oscar Piastri lining up in front of our new teammate Jenson Button. I'll be interested to see how he gets on in this Grand Prix. See how he performs. Unlike we didn't do so well last year. Anyway, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and 2023 is now underway. Charles Leclerc gets a good start, pips the Perez off the line with Max Verstappen on the line. Max Verstappen closely follows behind him, heading to turn 1. Then it's the Ferrari that takes the lead. Perez on the outside. There's a bit of contact in the middle. A bit of collisions and so. And this looks like contact behind there. I didn't quite see. There's Esteban Ocon, but it looks not Esteban. There's so much going on here. There's a side by side between almost with Lewis Hamilton's Carlos Sainz. Kevin Magnussen goes around the outside. Ooh, you didn't see that often. A Danish driver taking over the 7-time champion. That's nice to see. It's Charles Leclerc slowing to pull away from the 2 Red Bulls. Carlos Sainz occupies 4th, and you see Magnussen 5th, Hamilton 6th, and I can't remember who was up there. There's so much going on these past moments. Yeah, I see Alpine of Pierre Gasly, I believe. Then you got George Russell. Then you got Mick Schumacher up there somehow, and then you got There's so much going on. It's hard to keep up with everything. So much is happening. And then you see the AlphaTauri of Piastri by the looks of it. Then you see Lando Norris in 11th place, I believe, and we're occupied in 12th. We had a great start. Great start from us, just ahead of the Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas. Coming up to the end of the first lap, and it is Charles Leclerc leading from Verstappen, from Perez, from Sainz, Magnussen, Hamilton, Russell, Mick Schumacher, Piastri, and Norris. And we got on the inside of turn 1. We don't do one overtake, we do 2 overtakes in one corner. Ultimate dive bomb. Taking tips from Daniel Ricciardo in his Red Bull days. And here's a replay of the start. We get a reasonable start in the first phase, but then the second phase we sort of bottled it. Started losing place to Ocon here. We got on the inside, try to do deep dive bomb, but it didn't quite pan out. We did make a bit of contact with Wang Yuzhou. Wasn't ideal, but we can get ahead of him. We get a nice run up this hill, past our teammate, almost onto the surface, past Bottas, and just about ahead of Alex Albon, up into 12th place. We are side by side here, coming into this next sequence of chicanes, and we do just make the most of it. Whew. That was tight, intense, and here's the onboard of Esteban Ocon by the looks of it, and he gets contact. He gets hit by someone. Not quite sure who. I'm not quite sure who hit him behind, but I imagine it is. And here's the onboard with Vettel. I'm guessing he was the culprit. I think he was the culprit. He goes on the inside. There's not a lot of space. He gets hit by the Williams, and that causes Vettel to knock Ocon off. That's not really his fault. There's not very much he can do. He was just a sandwich. Real shame. And here's the onboard footage of us overtaking Norris and Piastri for 10th place into this corner here. That's a nice little dive bomb there. Nicely done from us. And into the second lap, Charles Leclerc is still leading the way from Verstappen. These two will be no doubt be going at each other for this season. I can already tell. He's pulling away slightly. Nice healthy lead. Just about. Hopefully he'll be able to prance more. As we continued on, DRS does get activated in this lap. We are closing up on Mick Schumacher in the Haas. We do get the incredible stitching and using the battery to make the most of it. We do on the inside, a nice for dive bomb, and that is up into 9th place. 9th place for us in the Phoenix Motorsport car. Nicely done. Oh, we're not quite finished just yet. He's so slowly trying to come back at us. He goes on the inside. We do leave him space. We just give him enough room, and that is 9th place for us. Here's a replay of the footage here. He locks up actually, and that gives us a new that gives us the freedom of going into there. But he does get a nice run out of the second corner from turn 3, and he gets tries to get alongside us. He does get alongside us. He doesn't quite make the move stick, and we're able to, with enough traction, able to pounce, and that is 9th place for us. Nicely done. 2 laps later, we are hunting down George Russell in the Mercedes. In the Mercedes, I stress. Same engine. Straight line speed has been our friend today. We do another dive bomb. Same corner, same dive bomb, same technique, different driver. Up into 8th place. That is nicely done from us. And this time, 8th place is ours. And here's another replay of the battle. Well, there was not much battle to it. There was just a simple dive bomb. Up into 8th place. Nicely done from us. Excellent. And let's get after Alpine's Pierre Gasly, who was the one who left AlphaTauri. It's crazy how this happened in real life as well. So as you can see, coming up to lap 6, we do get DRS. We do use the battery. We are slowly closing in on Pierre Gasly. We don't quite do it. He locks up though. Not quite there. We were too far back. It's this way it goes. And as you can see, the top 4, they're just slowly pulling away. They're just pulling away. They're now in a race of their own, having their own like little mind games and their own little race. Whereas us lot are scrapping for 5th place. At the moment, we are hunting, so we're still hunting down Pierre Gasly, who's been a lot more difficult to overtake. We made contact, and George Russell's coming up alongside us thanks to that contact. Side by side between us. Thanks, Pierre. Very pleasant. So here's the replay. We're just sort of taking online, and he locks up, and then we just go straight into him. Then George Russell comes by, tries to take 8th place back from us, but we weren't having that. Here's the onboard. Here's the footage from the onboard. So we do make contact. Thankfully, that doesn't take the wing off. Whew. That was a bit scary. Nevertheless, so we do press on. We are trying to close up to Pierre Gasly. This car's braking on. This car's braking is so deadly, super deadly, which is just what I wanted. Oh, just another. Mick Schumacher goes wide, and that allows Hamilton to close up to him. Oh, this is taking a lot longer. This is compromising my race. I need to get ahead of Pierre Gasly so we can literally get higher and get some more points for the team. This has been a much better first race than it was the last season. And well, see how it goes. We do the dive on the inside. We do get Pierre Gasly just about. Yes, we do. We make the move stick. Just about. Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen is still ahead. And you can see George Russell fighting with the Alpine of Gasly. Going around the outside of turn 4. And does he make the move stick? Yes, he does. Nicely done from the Brit from Kingston. Nicely done there. He's the onboard of us. Going into dive turn 1. Same technique. Almost went into the back of Lewis Hamilton. Thankfully, it just came out okay. That could have been a lot worse. Thankfully, it went in our way. He's the onboard of George Russell, seeing us two scrap over 7th place. He gets a nice run and use of the battery. Up towards turn 4, side by side, between the two. Nice respect between each other. George Russell makes the most of it. Nicely done there from the Brit. Nicely done. So here's the onboard from the Alpine. It just came in like a torpedo. Like a little torpedo. As once used. Oh boy. So yeah, he doesn't get a good exit because of that. And that allows George Russell to get onto this outside from turn 4. And he is now down into 8th place. Unfortunate, but sometimes you've got to be in it to win it. So we are starting to close up on Hamilton, who locks up. Oh dearie me. He was still stuck behind Kevin Magnussen. This is not ideal at all. Not ideal. So we are closing in on Lewis, but we just need that little extra miles just to get ahead of him, which is just what we need. But we break super late here. Not ideal at all. Oh, we make contact. George makes contact with us. He makes contact. The Alpine gets ahead. That was rude of George. So we try to go on the outside. Oh dear. God damn it. Schumacher takes us out. He bloody took us out. I'm surprised we have not sustained any damage. That is quite remarkable. Quite remarkable it is. Certainly is the case. He gets a bit calmer because he has to pit for a new front wing. Here's a replay on what happened. We go wide. George waits into us. To be fair, he could have taken voiding action, but he didn't. So he gets ahead. We try and go around the outside, but we leave the door open for Schumacher, and he gets in and takes us out. And that gives Schumacher damage to the front wing. Here's the onboard of the whole thing. Yeah, he just goes straight into us. He did not think to react or anything. Just simple as that. It's a better view. Pierre Gasly just like, thank you very much. I'll take 7th place. As for Schumacher though, well, there was a gap slightly, but I closed it off. But even he should have seen that. Even he should have backed out of it. But he's racing for you. We do start to close up on Norris, despite that little shunt. But he's not been plain sailing, as our tyres are slowly starting to go off, which isn't ideal, to say the least. So anyway, the leaders are now in for their first and only pit stop. Not Lewis Hamilton. I don't know what's going on there. Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, they all come out. We were supposed to come in, but we decided to stay out for an extra lap or two. Norris stays out. Magnussen and Hamilton pit. But yeah, so we get ahead of Leclerc and Verstappen. Not good for Leclerc because he's come out in traffic behind us. Not good for the defending champion. One lap later, excuse me. Sorry, don't know what happened there. Sergio Perez comes in with his one and only pit stop, as does Carlos Sainz. They've both been neck and neck, but Perez just gets out head on top, and Sainz gets out not too far away behind. Norris comes in. We stay out for an extra lap because I really wanted to make the most of these tyres to go a bit longer so we could jump George Russell. As we do take the lead, and Perez does jump not only Carlos Sainz, but he jumps Leclerc. Leclerc gets ahead of his teammate, but it looks like Carlos Sainz gets ahead of Perez. And here's the pit stop for our returning champion. Jenson Button makes his first stop since his return, coming out of retirement. Man, it's so good to see him. We do come in eventually for our one and only pit stop a lap later. And I wanted to make sure this was quick and sufficient. And boy, it was a nice, quick and sufficient pit stop from us in the team here. Nicely worked, quick crew. But do we get ahead of the Mercedes? No, we don't. They just fly past. Meaning we got a lot of work to cover. But do we get ahead of Lando Norris? Yes, we do. We do get ahead of Norris. Only just. But he's got warmer tyres than me. And he gets a lot of momentum and the DRS. He goes around the outside. We brake super late. But we don't. With the cold tyres, we go so wide. Oh boy. We just missed out on there. Cold tyres. Not ideal on the hard tyres, but that's racing. We just got to make the most of it. Here's the replay. Norris so close behind us, trying to not let him go on our inside, but he goes around the outside, and we go super deep, and we are in desperation trying to get the car to turn, but it just wouldn't turn at all. Basic cold tyres. And we go wide here again. Oh, we lost a lot of momentum. Like I said, our tyres were just warming up. It's taken a while for them to do so. As here is Jenson Button just ahead of Guan Yu Zhou and Mick Schumacher. Up into 15th or 14th place from what I can gather. Our tyres did warm up eventually, and we are slowly starting to close in off the Brit of Lando Norris. And Piastri's up there in 11th. Oh, nice. Too bad he couldn't do with our car. Mind you, our car was pretty good last year. We are starting to close in on Lando Norris. Do we make another dive bomb? Not another dive bomb. Yes, we do. Same as we did to him early in the Grand Prix. That is 10th place for us. Up into 10th. Nicely done. At least I think it's 10th. Or is it 9th? I can't remember. It's probably 10th. One time. I can't remember having brain farts. Oh, it is 9th place we're in. Here's a replay of the inside of what's turn 1. Having mind blanks. Please excuse me. So that is 9th place for us. And we are starting, and we now, I'm hoping to get 8th place on here in this Grand Prix. That's the most I can hopefully get out of. And we do make contact with Norris. Only mild though. Thankfully, they didn't take us. I think they didn't give us a puncher. And there is a yellow flag going on down there. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but it seems like someone's retiring. We do slowly close up on the Mercedes, but I wonder who that is. Oh,
Okay, here's some information on Latifi.
Latifi is out the first race of the season, and he's battling with Daniel Ricciardo. He does make the move stick, only for it to be short-lived by what it seems to be an engine failure. Could be mechanical or it could be hydraulics, but just judging by that, it's an engine failure. How unfortunate. Excuse me. I do finally apologize for this. Oh dear. How unfortunate for the Canadian. Oh well. Mind you, it's not going to make much difference to him. It's just the last most of the time anyway. And as you can see, these two are fighting Nivental. Perez just holding off the defending champion of the Monegasque, Charles Leclerc. Just about. Whereas Verstappen, he doesn't need to have an answer for Carlos Sainz. As the laps go by, we do close up on George Russell. It's only slowly, inch by inch by inch. And we do get the DRS. But we are running out of time though. So I need to make the most of it to get ahead of this one Mercedes. I just want to overtake one and get 8th place. I'll happily take it. The other Mercedes will be very hard to catch, given how quick these cars are. Nevertheless, we never give up. We just continue pressing on. Anything can happen. As we've got 2 laps to go. Coming up onto this start straight. And there's another yellow flag. It looks like an Alfa Romeo by the looks of it. And it is. It is an Alfa Romeo of Guan Yu Zhou. Oh no. How unfortunate. That is such a shame. The second retiree of this Grand Prix. But it looks like another engine failure. A bit worrying. And on this same lap here, we do get DRS. And we're going to be using a bit of battery to try and close in on George Russell as best as we can. 2 laps to go. Can we do it? Oh my moly. We almost went into the back of him. Judging by what's going on there. Holy Christ. Bit of a scary moment. Let's not do that again. We don't want another a heart attack in the coming races. Oh boy. That was a very close shave. Very close shave from that. But we are pushing so hard to really catch up. Another dive bomb on the inside of George Russell. Then we make the mistake. We are side by side. We don't quite pull it off. George gets the better traction. That he still cements 8th place. We are pushing for 8th for 4 points on the table. This has been a much better race than the first time season. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was very, very, very close. Very close. We've had a few close shaves this Grand Prix. Unfortunately, one day we got taken up by George as well. Here's the onboard of us going on the inside. He does give us enough space, unlike early on. But we just don't quite have the traction. Don't quite have the traction of the back corner. We've got the braking, but not the traction. And it's coming up to the last lap of the Grand Prix. This is pretty much our one last chance to get ahead of the Mercedes of George Russell. Can we do it on this stretch here? Bear in mind, we got another DRS zone to take care of. And we go down on the inside of the dive bomb. We go wide off the track. George Russell just gets ahead slightly. We do make the mistake somehow. We just get ahead of him. We just get ahead of him. Just about. And then Lando Norris is battling with George, trying to take 9th place off of him. But that Mercedes has got so much traction out of the corners. That's to be a prancing horse. That'll be a dark horse. It is a crazy dive bomb that we do, but we don't quite make the move stick on there. But we somehow get ahead, just about, thanks to the DRS. Whew. If we don't know DRS, we probably would have been done for. Here's the onboard. We come in like a rocket. Gave George Russell a bit of a scare. And then he just sort of like gets on the marbles and then loses a bit of grip and traction. Not like the Mercedes at all. And so he's fighting off the McLaren of Norris. He gets better traction coming out of turn 4 and just makes the move stick. Here's a better view from Lando Norris. The two of us clashing into turn 2 and into turn 3. Norris gets an incredible run out of turn 3. And he just trying to go on the inside, coming up to turn 4. But he just couldn't quite make the move stick. That is such a shame. A real shame there. As for us, we are trying to cement 8th place, but that Mercedes is becoming our back very quick, and we're using our battery, and he does come back at us, coming up on the inside for this corner here, but we go and do the dummy and do it the inside, and we make contact just about, and we do get back ahead. And while that's going on, Sergio Perez comes through to win the first race of the season. So much like last year, Red Bull take the win for the first race of the season. Charles Leclerc comes through in second, nothing he can do. As for us, we come home in the terrific 8th place. I'll happily take that. From a collision to 8th. Nicely done. After starting 16th on the grid. Oh, what a good recovery drive that was. Thank goodness. Whew, I'm a good driver of the day. That is a bonus. I'll happily take that.
Smiling faces on the pit wall then after that superb win here at Sahkir, and rightly so. A brilliant effort from the whole team. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest? Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. It's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Sergio Perez gets the win for Red Bull in the first race of the season. I'm pretty happy for him. I just wish he could win more races in real life though. But that's a different story. So yeah, out to celebrate his champagne with the other 2 drivers on there, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. It's a Ferrari 2-3 today. We could have had so much more in that Grand Prix for ourselves. I feel like if it weren't for those collisions, we could have probably got 5th. I personally think so. But we'll never know. These things happen. Jenson Button ends up finishing 13th after starting 13th. It's the first race, so we've got more to sort out. We've got more to sort out with the car and get it into hopefully fighting for more points and hopefully podiums, maybe even win, if luckily. But we'll have to find out a season from Falls. Red Bull take the lead of the constructors. I never thought I'd see Verstappen and Haas up there in 3rd. That is crazy. Oscar just misses out on the points. How unfortunate. How very unfortunate. But I'll be interested to see how he gets on throughout the whole season after we let him go in favour of Jenson Button, who I must say is done much better than what he's done in our car last season. Did we do bag in some money for our team? No damage. That is a first for a long time. 3.37 mil. Happily in the bank. I will happily take that. That is something that we needed to literally get. So yeah, that's been the Grand Prix. It's been a crazy Grand Prix, first race of the season. And I must say, I rather enjoyed that Grand Prix. Despite the circumstances of us being stuck in a group of cars. But we did make the most of it. That slow-mo shot of turn 1. Lovely. Lovely. I love slow-mo shots. Oh, that's where the contact was. I didn't quite see that. You miss some of these things these days. But yeah, I do want to thank those that stuck around and follow me on social media, which are all in the description. I do hope everyone's had a lovely new year, and I will be posting more of these in the coming weeks. It's just I gotta get this COVID system out of me, which shouldn't be too long at the time of recording of this video, whenever this video goes out. The next Grand Prix will be the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. I've been trying to get some practices in, and let's just say it's been interesting. I've not done the recording for the Grand Prix yet, because as I said, I've been trying to get some practice into trying to find where I can get the most out of in each corner. But that racetrack is such a fast track. I'm growing to like it. I love the danger elements to it. Of course, I don't want anyone to be hurt, but that's where the adrenaline comes in. But yeah, enough of me waffling on. I just want to say thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the channel and liking all the content that I do. I am going to be doing more of the my team. I'm also going to be posting clips from various games that I don't know if you saw on the channel, but I will be planning on making more of those kind of content. But yeah, I will say thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content. And I will see you all in the next video for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Take good care.